I was recently asked what inspires me to give to missions.
I think about the investments I've made in my life in the past. They've been self-centric, fleeting, and temporary.
I know the value of leadership, and I know the value of putting people on full-time. And just like looking at other churches around the world, there's a correlation between more people on staff and the more people becoming disciples. It's just a fact.
I know Jesus' voice when he speaks. Okay. Whether it's on television or in the car, at school or at work, or even when my mother speaks to me.
As many of you guys know, I was baptized in Birmingham, UK in November of 2018. And it was crazy. It was really fun meeting the disciples there. And I found out that the church was only planted about a year and a half before I was reached out to.
There are a couple things that Satan says to, just bother me a little bit. He says things like, girl, you deserve to have low rent. You work hard. It's not that bad to cheat the system and save a little money for yourself. Just lie about it. Girl, okay, I know the church has some good intentions with the money you give them, but don't you want to be saving it for real things? Like your dream?
When you seek God with all your heart, you will be happy. The word blessed means to be happy. And so if I could give someone happiness, I would. And so that's what missions is. It's like you're giving your money so someone can go out there, there can be a church planted or just one person on their way sharing their faith, and they can run into someone who's just in distress, or even they think they have the greatest life ever. Whoever they run into, it doesn't matter. But the fact is, they're running into someone that they can offer the promise of God.
I do not see it as giving. I know that God is the possessor of all. So when I give, I'm actually returning. I'm simply returning to Him what is His.
What Special Missions means to me is an expression of my thankfulness and praise to God. God has given me abundantly. He's given me my husband. He's given me my children. He's given me a home. He's given me a job. And it's just so amazing how much He has blessed me.
And I think about Jesus and how He totally invested His life for the salvation of others and by first spreading God's word. And I'm like, whoa, I want to make God's mission my mission for my life.
We can't be thinking about worldly things, about setting our minds and building our kingdom here on earth. There's many people out there sitting down and wondering what they're going to do. And I want to be, what missions means to me is helping those people make a decision and becoming disciples. That's my dream. My dream for missions is to build a kingdom here in Toronto.
Since Jesus became like nothing to us to give us everything, I had to look at my nothing and believe it could be something.
It's really the most effective use of money that you could possibly do on planet Earth. Like it's even more useful than giving money to the homeless, all of that, because you're actually affecting someone's eternal destiny when you spend money to put more people on staff, because those people can reach out to people who will study the Bible, with people who will get people saved. And the way I like to think of it is I'm one step closer through my faith to turning my family and my friends into disciples, which are, I just want them to become disciples. So that's what it is for me.
When Jesus speaks, He says things like, you're saving for people's eternal lives, okay? For eternity. Do you want to be a slave of money? You can't be a lover of money and me at the same time.
It was because of someone else's generosity, because of someone else deciding to give to Special Missions in London and across Europe and probably the kingdom globally. It was because of their generosity that the church got planted and that I was able to be reached out to. Without that, I may not be sitting here.
May we not walk by sight, and may we walk by faith, simply trusting in God.
I would be the most spiteful, hateful person if I didn't want someone to have happiness. If I didn't want someone to feel joy, to be relieved of like pain and sorrow and suffering. There's already enough of that in the world. Why would I want to cause them any more? Man, if I can give someone God and be like, look, I found the best present ever, I totally would. And in this way, missions is the best way to do it.
And I just see the mission all around the world that God can turn men and women who were nothing into something. And that's why I give.
I feel a great joy and freedom when I obey Jesus' commands and I do hear his voice. Truth is, I can never pay him back for the amount he truly deserves for how he saved my life. Truth is, I am completely bankrupt before him, but I test myself to see how much faith I have to put into his shelter and his nurture and his love for me. His love to move and change other people's hearts with that money.
I celebrate being able to give towards special missions every year because it's a way for me to pay it forward. It's a way for me to say thank you to all the disciples that came before me and gave so generously. It's a way for me to help someone else. Because truthfully, special missions is not a salvation issue for me or for you guys as disciples, but it could be a salvation issue for someone else.
The little I do have, it's so worth giving to God because he doesn't waste it. He's not a wasteful person. He's not a meaningless person. Every little dollar, every cent is counted. It's so precious. I imagine every cent is like a new soul.